So Alex Beard, who is a friend of mine and an author, wrote a book called Natural Born Learners. And I was at Kidsania, London, and one of the chapters is about learning outside the classroom and evidencing that makes a difference, which I'd kind of done with the Children's University and in partnership with Cambridge University, and we also did with Kidsania with a number of universities globally. So he got in touch, he came to see me at the Kidsania, we walked around, he interviewed me for a long time, and then in the draft came out with this thing, I met this man and he's like Willy Wonka meets Jean-Jacques Rousseau, or the other way around. And that stuck really, and I liked it a lot. And one of the reasons I like it more and more, and I use it in speeches now occasionally, is to say, when you go into a building, an office building or a school, that on the doors there are the names, not the names of the people, but there are what they do. So vice principal or director or whatever they are. So it tells you what they are, but not who they are. So I kind of decided if I ever have an office again, the Jean-Jacques Rousseau meets Willy Wonka will go on the door, because it tells you a little bit about the who as opposed to just the what. So I like it, right? And then I was very pleased that and honored that my friend Sergei Kozaretsky, who was a professor at the National Research University in Moscow and who also read the draft manuscript, then wrote back and said, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry meets Gianni Rodari, and I kind of thought, well, maybe that's one up or not, but at least I can interchange them. And I quite like the comparisons because they're like taking pictures, and people get it. So I was flattered and honored, and I like it a lot. It's an interesting one. I think it's partly to do with firsts, but with much more. So it was my first proper job in teaching in this country. I'd grown up in the Netherlands and then moved here, and I to this day consider myself very fortunate. To this day, I'm still in touch with some of the former colleagues, and with you, and there are a few other former pupils who I'm in touch with through social media, basically. The school was special because it was a new school. It was a new build. It was only 1 or 2 years old, I think, when I started there, and so it had very few numbers in terms of children, and the staff, I think, were almost handpicked by the head teacher. The head teacher was a remarkable woman called Mrs. Daines, Jean Daines, and she to this day travels with me because she was a remarkable head teacher, but she was a brilliant person, and she was an incredible leader. So she picked this set of like-mindedness that was around values, and many of the conversations that we had in staff meetings, in departmental meetings, and elsewhere were always about the names of children. And the solutions if they were needed, and I love that. There was an immense. I'll never forget my very first day. I was about to take the register, my first form 3T, and just before I was about to go up the stairs, she said, "Can you just come into my office for a minute?" So I went into her office, and she said 2 things. Don't forget to enjoy yourself, and don't forget to make mistakes and learn from them. Now off you go. And I wonder now in this day and age how many head teachers take a newcomer to one side and say, almost Johan Cruyff like, go and enjoy yourself.